We'll go ahead and get started with the pledge. And I believe that Walt is going to lead us in the pledge today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Walt.
Mention it not.
All right, and then we're going to move to the invocation.
There is turmoil swirling around us. Let us be the calm. When the world is dark and full of fear, let us bring the light of dawn. When voices shout and conflict reigns, let us be there for relief. When hope is needed everywhere, let us raise a voice for peace.
Very well said. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, and again, I just want to welcome everybody. If anybody jumped in last minute, I didn't see anybody come in, but so glad that everybody's able to join us. And I hope you enjoy the program today.
Sure.
So we've added a recognition for our leadership team. So you'll see here that this is your board of directors and your committee chairs for this year. So make sure you've introduced yourself if you haven't already, or they introduce to you, and get to know them and what their position is and what we're doing. All right. And here's a little snippet of the calendar for August. It is Membership and New Club Development Month, so we're going to be working on that a little bit. On the 11th, we have scheduled for Rondé Weston. He's a Lemon Bay Sunrise Rotary member, and he's also a past Bucks player. So he's going to come in and talk to us a little bit about what his thoughts and feelings are, how COVID is affecting the professional sports arena, and also share with us about his foundation. And many don't know that he has that or that exists. So I think that would be a nice thing to do. On the 14th, we have a new social. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but it's an outdoor music bingo that's new to the calendar this week. On the 18th, we will have our board meeting. There will be no club meeting that week as we've set the schedule. And that meeting, there is a time change. Normally we are meeting at 5:30. However, the community room at the chamber was booked, so I couldn't get it until 6. So that meeting only has been bumped to 6 o'clock. Others will go back to 5:30 and will be at the community room and then via Zoom. So please join in if you can. Service project for this month, the Meals on Wheels collection that you would have seen come out in the messages. They need some help with some toiletries, some sample size items, some bags, things like that. So if you have any of those items, Valerie has generously offered her office as a collection zone. So you can drop those off to her office. If you can't get them out, I'd be happy to come pick them up, or, you know, figure out a way to get them to Valerie or over to Meals on Wheels. And we also are starting up our Hello Friend program. Brenda has developed that program we're starting at her facility at Rotunda to be a pen pal to the seniors. So those that are closed up and not having connections with their families and whatnot right now, we will start it off with a card, a memo, a letter, whatever it might be, and then hopes in the future that it can become a FaceTime call or a phone call or a face-to-face visit when the time is right. The EYF board meeting, if I'm correct, will be on the 20th at 5:30 at Valerie Wagner's office. And 8:25, we have SCORE coming in to talk to us about what they have available for your business during this time. And then at the end of the month, we have another series, the diversity series part 2. So if you missed out on this last one, there is a link to it. I believe it's on our Facebook as well as in the on the district site. But you know, it was a great call. And they're going to continue those for the next few months. So please join in if you can, and if you can't, I'm sending the links out so you can watch them afterwards. All right, so taking on the flamingo, it's time to flamingo. So Christina sent this to me and I thought it was kind of nice and fun. So it's an outdoor music bingo that they're doing at Boca Royale. They're doing it on the bocce ball court, so there'll be plenty of distance. You can show up with a lawn chair. If you have a golf cart, you can. Most of us don't. A pen and a clipboard or a magazine and $10 and just play and have some fun. The other part that I liked about this is for those of you that are looking to do a little bit more networking, you have the opportunity, there's going to be other people there, not just Rotarians. So it'll be a great time to mix and mingle with some other folks as well. And they will have snacks and beverages available for purchase if you so want. I don't know, I don't imagine that they would have any issues with us bringing a cooler, but as long as it's not, the big Yeti coolers, but I will find that out before we go ahead with that. But if you're going to attend RSVP to Christina, she will have to make a reservation for us, or you can call yourself over to Boca Royale and make a reservation as well. So these are the two programs that we just talked about. The Hello Friend, you'll see the information there. You've seen that a couple of times. And the Meals on Wheels. And we will continually do some drop-offs to Meals on Wheels until they no longer need the assistance, or we just run out of supplies. Also, you see me say this on the last few weeks, like and follow our social media. We do now have an Instagram. We have our YouTube channel, which most of our meetings are posted on. So if you miss them, you can follow that later. But we're putting a lot of information on there, and you might just find a few surprises on there. And I just found out today that the Rotary Club of Englewood was awarded the 2020 Water Safety Advocacy Award. So that was pretty special. And thank you, Christina Watts, for all the work you did on the Mayor for a Day and generating all those funds for that program. We're blessed to be able to just share that word out there. So that was fantastic news to hear today. All right, and then we have some special celebrations. I don't think we have birthdays, but we have some anniversaries. So we have Alfred at 29 years of total service between his club in North Carolina and here in Englewood. Warren Spears, I don't know if he's still around in the area, I'm not sure. Karen Current, 5 years of service. Myself, 5 years of service. And Lynn Doyler, 3 years of service. So thank you all and happy anniversary. Barbara Lebanon went in today, I believe, was her surgery date for her hip. So we wish her a speedy recovery and that all goes well. And we want to say thank you to Alfred. He's doing a great job with the foundation, keeping us informed. I do read your Friday emails that you send, Alfred, and we'll share as much as I can. And if you have any questions or want any more information about the foundation, please get a hold of me or get a hold of Alfred, and we'll help you, figure out what the best method is for you. And then we had a big congratulations to Tracy Hamill for being District Public Image Chair. And Saturday, she did a fantastic job. I did not have a lot of time to coordinate, so congratulations. All right, so we want to welcome Jim. He's going to share a little bit of message from District Governor Darrell Keys today. Take it away, Jim.
Well, thank you very much for the warm welcome, and it's wonderful seeing so many familiar faces and friends amongst us here in Rotary. It's really a blessing to be able to join you today, and I'd like to first off congratulate Tracy for your appointment again to the Public Image Chair. It was awesome. I found out, and I'm so happy for you. You guys are really, as a club, making your mark. I'm so impressed just looking in. I saw the presentation the other day where Tracy just changed your script a little bit, and I think a lot of other clubs are going to be using it. But beyond that, your club has really kicked up the social media presence and just getting the word out. And it's not every month, it's like every day. You guys are doing something new and fresh. And I think a lot of clubs need to watch you to get some exciting ideas. I only have a few minutes, and I just am here to share the message from our District Governor, Darrell. He will be joining you later this year, probably around November, December. But I'm going to use the screen share in a second and just go over a few things. I have really a lot of dates. I know that President Deborah had already shared a few reminders of some upcoming dates. I might have a couple that she didn't mention that are a little farther out. But with all that said, let me just kind of get into my presentation because I have about 10 minutes and I'm out. All right. So let's move on to the share the screen. And I want to share with you, this is, in case you didn't know it, this is our Rotary International President, Holger Knack, and his wife, Suzanne. Many of us had the pleasure of meeting him and his bride at Pets in March. He's a great guy from Germany, and he told me personally he loves beer. So it was a great conversation I had with him. This is also a great picture of our governor with his First Lady, Sam, along with Holger and his wife, Suzanne. Great picture. You can see Darrell's not too excited, you know. Moving on, there are some important things that I want to share from the district. Darrell has kicked off something that some of you may be familiar with, some of you still may not be familiar with, and I want to bring it up on my screen here. It is the Rotary, one second, this Rotary Forum. I doubt that all of you that are on this Zoom tonight are a member of the district's Rotary Forum. If you are, kudos to you. Please share it with some of the members that aren't here tonight. This is the website you go to. You go to rotary6960.boards, BOARDS.net. And if you haven't done this before, you can see on the screen it says register. It's real simple. But if you have registered, get on here and use this. It's a great tool. I'm going to show you a couple of screens if you haven't been on it so that you get an idea of what it looks like. This is the top of the page basically, and this tool has opened up an ability for our district to communicate, I feel, in a much better and efficient way. You might have some relationships with some people that you call or you text or you email, but this is something that you can actually put out there, and you can see, for example, a membership chat. You know, I see Alfred has the foundation chat, and as of today, there was no post in there. So I'm hoping Alfred will put a post in there maybe tonight and start some discussion. You can see there's even some discussion on training at the bottom, some grants chat, and so forth. So there's a lot of things that are available on this forum. There's another page I want to share with you because there's so much on there, it's not on one page. This is near the bottom. You can see that if you are actually in the need of finding a job, you can see seeking a job, or if you're looking to hire somebody, you might even have something that you want to sell or rent. Magic Room, I haven't figured that out yet. I'm waiting for Darrell to explain that one to me. But what's pretty cool, at the bottom, you can see there's 356 total members. Well, we all know there's around 2,300 Rotarians in our district, which tells me there's 2,000 roughly that haven't signed up yet. So I'm guessing there's got to be a few people in your club that haven't done this. So if you would please go to that website and log in. It's real easy to do. And I encourage you to do it as soon as you can, because Daryl's keeping a close eye on that. Obviously, member wellness remains paramount for everyone in the district. So I'm thrilled to see you guys doing, the hybrid meetings and not just doing in-person meetings. I can tell you across the district, there are currently 49 clubs, and most clubs are not meeting at all anymore. So it's gone from, only Zoom to let's try to meet and maybe do some Zoom and meeting, to a lot of clubs are now just doing Zoom only. So you guys know the gauge and the temperament of your club members. The great thing is that you're still on here and you're meeting, and we're going to work through this together. We're going to all be stronger from this after when it's all done. The big message is the district would like some accountability on behalf of the clubs to see what members are showing up on Zoom, what members are showing up in person. You see, some clubs are doing a club meeting in person with Zoom as well. So if you can't make the meeting, you can jump on Zoom. And I know tonight for you, this is a Zoom only option, but for my club, for example, they're doing in person with a Zoom option as well. But the big question is what about the members that are not coming to the meeting or not coming to the Zoom? And there's some that haven't been around since March. So those are the members that the district is wanting people in every club, your board or your leadership team, to start tracking to see who's actually, not showing up to anything, and put a phone list together to reach out and say, hey, look, can I help you get on Zoom? Are you okay? Because they're very concerned about engagement, and we want to keep all the Rotary members that we have in our district and in our club. So please try to make a point to start that initiative if you haven't already. The other thing President Deborah mentioned was the Infinite Possibilities series. It was started last Friday. They had the first woman president in all of Rotary on. It was phenomenal. I loved it personally. And yes, I know you know what club I'm in, but there are 3 more presentations coming up. There's going to be one at the end of August. It's the last Friday of every month. August 28th is the next one, followed by September 25th, and then finally October 30th. So please go to DACDB, sign up. It's free, and it's an hour of your time that's well worth it. If you weren't able to make the meeting last Friday, it is recorded, and you can go on DACDB right now and watch it after this club meeting if you wish. We had a foundation membership and public image seminar on Saturday. It was about 3 hours long, and it was fantastic. It was also recorded, and I've been told that that's going to be available for clubs to revisit and watch again. A lot of great ideas coming from the foundation, from membership, and the public image workshop, because Tracy just was appointed. I was told today it's going to be in late August, unless Tracy tells me otherwise. I was told about an hour ago, either August 22nd or August 29th. So one of those Saturdays. And in addition to that, they're going to have this incredible president from the Sanibel Captiva Club who revamped their meetings with this Zoom approach. So you really want to log in and try to participate to that. I know I'm running a little short on time. I'm trying to keep to schedule here, but I got to change my hat. I got to flip it up, and here we go. Alfred, you love this? We got to talk about World Polio Day, and you can see End Polio Now, okay? So World Polio Day is coming up before we know it on October 24th. We made a promise to the children of the world that we were going to end polio, and we can't stop now. So if you guys have already organized a club event, that's fantastic. But if you're not able to make your club event, Governor Darrell is asking everyone to please join in our district's World's Greatest Meal for Polio. It is so easy, and let me explain briefly. You plan an event based around a meal that you have personally. It could be your breakfast, it could be your lunch, or it could be your dinner on October 24th. Or if you really want to get aggressive, add up all three. But as the host of the meal, you can invite friends or have a meal with friends virtually and do this over Zoom. But please feel free to invite Rotarians and non-Rotarians and outline the cause, which is polio. All the dinners donate a sum to the club's polio efforts. So if you have dinner tonight and it would cost roughly $40, you put $40 in the bucket, and that's what you turn into your club for polio. Stress that every dollar counts. So whether it's a $3 breakfast or a $40 dinner, it all adds up. Governor Darrell will be at your club later this year. The only other date I want to mention to you is on August 14th. I know you guys are playing bingo. I believe it was at 6:30. But at 4 o'clock, there's going to be high tea with First Lady Sam and Governor Darrell on Zoom at 4 p.m. on August 14th. So if you want to Zoom in with them, once a month, they're going to have high tea. And on the last Sunday of every month from 7 to 8, Governor Darrell's calling it Down at the Pub, where you can log in and it's just a social chat. You can stay for 5 minutes or for the whole hour. My time is up. I'm so proud of what your club does each and every year. You guys are leading the pack, and trust me, you are. You have a dynamic president this year. You have things organized. Really, a lot of people need to come visit your Zoom and see what's going on in your club. I'm really, really impressed. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you tonight.
Thank you, Jim. All right. Now we can
Moment.
keep going back, changing hats again.
All right.
Okay, that brings us to our main program for today. So I will let Tracy go ahead and introduce Barbara and Barry.
So Barbara's got a little technical assistant here helping her, which is also her co-chair, but I only have her bio, but I do know Barry was a past president and he's been a Rotarian for many, many years, and he is our little technical guy, and he's currently up north in his northern home. Hopefully he won't get too much of these hurricane storms. But Barbara joined Rotary, the Rotary Club of Newark in 1996 upon advice of a colleague who thought that it would be helpful for her banking career, which it certainly did. She retired in 2008 with 31 years of banking as vice president and branch manager at Community Bank. She serves as club president of 2002 and 2003, along with chairing their annual pancake breakfast for several years and serving as the bulletin chair for 5 years. Her family has been coming to Sarasota since 1985 and acquired her home in 1999. Barb has been visiting several Rotary clubs in the area, and in 2008, when she visited the Sarasota Bay Club, she realized she had found her home. She had taken a break, but in 2011, she pondered that she wanted to get back into Rotary. She joined the Sarasota Bay Club in 2013 and became president in July 2014. Barry and Barb have co-chaired the DGE program since 2018, and their spouses, Pam and Greg, have been extremely supportive. Greg and Barb have been married for 51 years, and they have a son, Gregory, who is also a retired Rotarian and a retired military. They have a daughter, Gina, who is a math teacher, and she also married a Gregory. I guess that name is popular in their family. They also have a couple grandchildren. So I want to turn it over to Barb.
Thank you, Tracy. when Tracy first contacted me about this, I thought, oh my God, I have to talk. And then I realized all my life I've been talking to people. I talked to people in my banking career. And when Tracy said Newark, there are 17 Newarks in the country, and the Newark that we lived is in Western New York between Syracuse and Rochester, and it's on the Erie Canal. So that's where we're from. Barry and I, as Tracy said, have co-chaired the DGE program since 2018. And the night that Barry toasted the two of us, I had no idea what was going to happen until he said, to the two new co-chairs. And then I thought, you know what? We've been hosting, Greg and I, since 2009. Pam's been hosting Barry for how long? Since about the same time? And where did Barry go? Anyway, Pam has been hosting too, so that when we all got together down here, it seemed to work out real well. So as you can see, Rotary does indeed connect the world. And you'll see, are we still going? Okay. The following clubs have been big supporters of our program for the past 3 years. And you'll notice that amongst Anna Maria, Bradenton, Sarasota, Sarasota Bay, Southside, Sunrise, and Siesta Key, you'll see Alliston, Ontario, Canada. And that is past district governors Joan and Roger Hayward. And they're winter down in Bradenton, and they have very graciously hosted for many years. And at our closing banquet on the Friday of our DGE week, Barry had a special surprise for everyone. As you'll see, with someone that, let's see. Here we go.
Okay, we have a special guest tonight that couldn't be with us.
Hi, I'm Holger Knack, President-elect of Rotary International. And first of all, I would like to thank the Rotarians from Sarasota to host so many DGEs. And I can't wait to welcome you in San Diego. And I'm sure we will have a great international assembly, and we are going to move Rotary forward in the year 2021. So have a safe journey to San Diego.
So Holger was very happy to give Barry an interview. And this next picture is from Selby Gardens, and that usually is the cover of our banquet, of our directory that we pass out to our DGEs, and our program for the week. Next, you'll see where everyone came from. We had 20 DGEs representing 15 countries who came in on Sunday and left on Saturday morning. And these are just a few of them. It's so exciting every year. And I'm hoping that we can do something in 2021. This slide presentation ran the entire time we were having the banquet. So everyone's able to see what was going on all week and have something nice to look at while we were there. This is our class of 2020. And you'll notice there are 6 women, which really excites Pam and Barb. We think that's quite lovely. And the first person we're going to show you is from Sofimir, Norway, and her name is Ina Barley. Ina was a world champion female wrestler. And this is Ove Gunderson, whom she met while she was wrestling. He was her coach at one point. Next, we're going to go to Ilorin, Nigeria, where we're going to meet Jumoke Bamiboye and her husband, Theophilus. She was a very fun woman. We had such a good time that week with everyone. And then we have from Nairobi, Kenya, we have Patrick Obam. And Patrick covers Kenya, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and South Sudan. So he has quite the job ahead of him. And you'll notice in this picture that he is always smiling, which helps him a great deal. And there he is with his wife, Teresa. Next, from Peebles, New Zealand, District 9970. You'll see Mark Yaxley and Stella. Every year, Barry and I choose a spokesperson for the group, and we had a very hard time this year because there were two people we wanted to have speak for the group, and we decided for the first time ever that we would do that, and they were Ina Barley and Mark Yaxley, and they did a phenomenal job. Then, finally, you might know this person from District 6960, Rotunda West. Greg and I hosted Daryl Keys. Now, this is what our week looked like. We started out on Monday morning at the Ringling Museum, and we had a fabulous time. We got to see the Circus Museum, the Katazan. We were welcomed by representatives of the Ringling, and we had tours if we chose. We had a great time. And then we had the afternoon so that we could go home and get relax a little bit, because we had our Monday evening reception, our welcome reception at Michael's on East Wine Cellar. And you'll notice somebody up there in the upper right-hand corner. Recognize those three people, Andy, Daryl, and Rich. We had a fabulous time that night. Everyone gets a chance to introduce themselves, their spouses, and their hosts, and drink a lot of wine. Next, Tuesday is our Rotary meeting in the grand foyer of the Van Wezel. So our club hosts the DGEs, spouses or significant others, and their hosts. And every district governor is given about a minute or so that they can just tell us a little bit about themselves and what's special in their district. It ends up being a fairly long meeting, but we have a very good time. And from there, we go outside and we have our picture taken in front of lovely Sarasota Bay. Wednesday is the Bishop Museum of Science and Nature, which is formerly the South Florida Museum. And we chose that because of the fact that it gives us a really good idea of things South Florida. And most people don't realize how much Florida is noted for. Mammoths, the size of the flora and fauna, and just a lot of different things. We have the museum has the largest collection of coprolites, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. And for those of you who don't know, coprolites are fossilized poop. So then from the Bishop, we go over to Pier 22, where we meet with the Bradenton Club. They usually meet on Mondays, but every year they come in on Wednesday and they host our club after the Bishop, and we have a lovely time, and we have a wonderful, good speakers every year. It's a lot of fun. Very nice luncheon. Then that night, we break up into groups according to our geographic area and the clubs that they belong to. And we have hosts who either encourage potluck or have a catered affair, or even do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, hosting the DGEs, their spouses, and their hosts. Thursday is Myakka River State Park, And we have a lovely picnic with picnic foods and beverages. We do the cloud walk. We see alligators. Everybody gets a chance to get out and stretch their legs, walk all around, and some of them take boat trips. And so far, the weather has cooperated very nicely for us all these years. And then Thursday night, we just get a break because by Thursday night, people are kind of tired. So, and then Friday is a free day until our closing banquet. And Friday's farewell banquet was at Bird Key Yacht Club. And we had an absolutely lovely meal. We had entertainment. And then we do a formal banner exchange. And here you see, she was our president-elect at the time, our current president, Terry Rackett, and several of the DGEs. So it's a lot of fun. Every year I tell people that it couldn't possibly get any better, and every year it gets better. Then Barry is great at making sure that we get enough PR. There's always something in the newspaper. He does Facebook, website, takes care of it all. He's phenomenal. Thank you, Brother Barry. And then there's a picture of Barb and Greg. Oh, by the way, we'll be married 51 years on Thursday. And Pam and Barry, and our spouses really do help us a great deal. Greg does a lot of the technical stuff, and yep. So, and then it's on to San Diego. So that's pretty much it. So what does everybody think? Questions, comments, concerns? Who wants to host?
Well, I'll start, Barbara. You showed a wide variety of DGEs coming in, and how are those selected, or do they volunteer to come to our location? How is that done?
Well, it used to be that Barry used to get lists of the DGEs, and he would send a blanket email out to everybody offering our clubs, this program to as many as 20 people, and it was the first 20 people. Well, last year and this year, we had a hard time because of European privacy laws, so we had to do what he could to try to get the word out. So quite often it's word of mouth from people who've been here before, or someone hears about it from somebody else, and then they just send an email, and then we try to limit it to 2 from each country because we don't want to have too many people from Norway, Denmark, whatever. And this year we ended up taking 3 people from Norway, 3 people from Denmark, and I think 2 people from India. So it's pretty much first come, first serve, right, Barry?
Okay.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We work it that way. The difficulty is that Rotary no longer provides emails for any DGEs. Yeah. When they come, when they're committing to the program, they're DGNs. And so, because they're committing 6 months before they become a DGE, it is very difficult. There were 2 other programs in Florida that I was aware of, Vero Beach Space Center and Orlando. Orlando and everybody had the same problems of trying to get DGEs to come to your program because you had no way of reaching them.
Right.
I mean, I tried blanket emails to zone, whoever has the website in a zone in Brazil, and send him information on the program, and could he send it out? And generally, it's a web person, so you may get somebody that's a PDG or just doesn't know anything about it. And usually I'll get a response from them saying, this is wonderful, and that's the last you ever hear from them.
Right.
Yeah, and you do get people sometimes, as Barry has, who are so anxious to come, and then we don't get anything from them. They have to, they have to give us a credit card so we can book them in. And then sometimes people are just tentative about giving us their information online, so.
Of course.
Yeah.
Um,
I
well,
had a
I just
quick
want to
question.
preface this. Go ahead, Karen. Go.
Are you still planning on holding this Garb and Berry this year in 2021 with all that's going on with COVID?
We have, Barb, the way we divide the labor, Barb books all of the local events, and I do all of the getting the DGEs and the commitments from overseas and getting them here. And we both work on trying to get the hosts and all of that worked out.
I
This
had
year-
everything set up already for that week.
So
But-
everything's in place on our end. And in fact, because the International Assembly has now moved to Orlando from San Diego, it's a whole different strategic setup for us. It means that nobody's getting on a plane on Saturday morning to leave to fly across country. They're going to get on a bus or a shuttle to get back to Orlando or to Orlando. So those are going to be interesting changes. At this point, Rotary International, this is not an official program of Rotary International, so they won't provide any lists of names or send anything out to anyone to let them know about the program. We anticipated that if the DGNs knew that when they DGEs they had an opportunity for this program in January, that we'd be inundated. So both Sherry Penfield in Mid-States and Sandra Hempstead, both were going to start additional DGE programs in the district. So there'd be 3 concurrent programs going to handle the demand that was anticipated for Florida, for them to come a week early. Most of them like to come early because if they're flying for several hours or a day or 2 days, they don't like coming in and the day of and trying to do 5 days of Rotary nonstop from 8 in the morning till 9 or 10 at night because they're kind of flagged out from jet lag. So we anticipated bigger crowds. Where we're at, and I know I had sent them some people that were for a third from our country, so I passed them along. We're at 14 that have paid a commitment to come. We had 4 that committed to come but haven't paid. We had 2 that withdrew from the program. So at this point, we're at 14 plus 4. Rotary has, of course, canceled all in-person programs through the end of December 31st. And they will be having to make a decision on the International Assembly, which this year is also later. It's actually the first week, it's February 6th, and our program runs the week before. So our program starts on January 31st through February 6th, and then the IA is on the 6th or 7th. It opens on a Sunday. So at this point, they haven't made that decision, and I anticipate that they will have to start making that decision by the end of October because that's when they have to start issuing the tickets to fly all of these people into the country. And I think they're going to use a formula where if they feel that 60% of the DGEs could come to the District Assembly in Orlando, they will have it as an in-person and a hybrid setup for those that couldn't make it. Although the hybrid setup may be a little difficult at this point, my contacts in New Zealand and Australia indicate that Australia and New Zealand wouldn't be open to US travel till probably March 2021, which means they probably would not come to this country because they would be restricted to try and get back to their country.
Absolutely.
So we don't know. And we also are concerned that because whether hosts would be willing to host.
Right. Well, I found this program and I kind of wanted to share it because I don't think it's widely talked about and widely known within Rotary. But it also follows the theme. It opens opportunities. So whether this goes off this year or picks up next year, or whatever the situation might be with the virus calms down, it's an opportunity for us as a club or individuals to participate in this in the future if we so chose, and to connect with people from all over the world. So it's not always the way that you think things play out. Sometimes you have opportunities that you just have to look for them.
We've been very fortunate in the people we've hosted. We've been hosting since 2009, Greg and I. And I had always wanted to host because the district I came from outside of Rochester, New York, District 7120, does a program also. And being in January and being in the weather that it's in south of Lake Ontario, it was never conducive for me to do that. So when this came along, and we've hosted from Nigeria, India, Turkey, Bulgaria, Canada, Denmark, Finland, Japan, and I think twice from India, twice from Turkey. And we've been fortunate enough to visit some of the people that we've hosted, and that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
Question. Barbara,
what?
how far afield are you looking for hosts? Your program is up in Sarasota. We're down in Englewood, Port Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I might be really happy to be a host, but am I too far away?
That depends on you and how you feel about it. The other thing that sometimes we do is that we'll have 2 host couples. And that's what happens when Roger and Joan Haywood host in Bradenton. That's a couple from Ontario, Canada. They share with Susie Simicata. And when one can't go, the other one does. So, they come in usually on Sunday, anytime from Sunday morning till Sunday night. And they have time to relax. And then you've got Monday that you've got to be at the Ringling, and then Monday night that you have to be at the welcome reception. Tuesday is just the meeting. And that is really the time to try to get there is before 11:30. And then you've got after the meeting, which is usually pictures are taken and everybody's leaving by 1:30 or 2. You'd have the whole rest of the day. And then of course, you've got Wednesday at the museum, and then lunch, and then Wednesday night's gathering. So if you were to be interested, and if you were hosting at that point, we'd probably put you with someone who is in the South Sarasota area. So it wouldn't be quite so far. And sometimes people are just willing to let people stay, So, I mean, if there was someone who, wanted to put you up for the night so you didn't have to come back so early on Thursday, there's always something. I can't speak for anybody, but people are always willing and able to do what they can to make it work out.
We've got a boat in Bradenton, so, right by Pier 22.
Oh,
That's not a problem.
That would be convenient.
hey.
Barbara, I got
Mention I bring wine. And Greg and I cook. I'm sorry, what was?
I have a question. I don't have the ability to host, but is there any other jobs or tasks that you could use assistance on? Like, do some of these district governor elects they fly into Fort Myers and they need a ride to Sarasota or to Orlando, or is there any ancillary things that we could help with if we didn't have them stay with us?
Well, one of the things that Barry makes sure they know is that if they do fly into Fort Myers or they fly into Orlando, it's up to them to get to Sarasota, be it a shuttle, whatever. And Rotary International, the travel agency, doesn't always book people into the most convenient areas. We had a couple who flew into Miami about 3 or 4 years ago, which was very difficult. And they had to get over. So they ended up Ubering. And the poor people were from Turkey and they didn't speak much English. It was a bit difficult. If you were willing and able to do something like that, it's always a nice gesture. and, you know, pick somebody up at the airport, like you said, Fort Myers, and, you know, see, it's, like I said, it would be on a Sunday. You know, if you wanted to take them to lunch and bring them, you know, show them something and bring them up, you know, that's fine. We also look for people who are willing to drive if some of our hosts can't make it for something, because some of the people do have issues at different times, things pop up. So where you know, your doctor changes your appointment and you have to be gone on, you have to be there at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, so you can't do the luncheon, so somebody else takes them, you know, that type of thing. So
we've never had anybody fly into Fort Myers.
Now
since
watch,
I've been
we will.
doing it. They have flown into Tampa. The Indians will often fly into Miami because there are direct flights. Rotary International, Rich Travel, always books them at whatever the lowest economy fare is. So they're subject to Rotary paying for their air transportation to go to the International Assembly. And they're responsible for the airfare from Sarasota to San Diego in the past years. Now, they're only responsible, we would suggest to most of them this year that they fly into Orlando and then come to Sarasota. And we've discussed various ways on Saturday, since they're all going to be leaving on Saturday to go to Orlando. It's possible that we talked about arranging for shuttle or bus service from here to there at one specific time. There are also liability issues with us doing a group transportation program with people from all of them together and getting them to Orlando. We don't expect and we don't ask any hosts to drive to Orlando to pick up their guests or to take them to Orlando on Saturday to their hotel.
Prior to COVID being in March, Sherry and Daryl, thank you, I lost my brain, had asked me to consider co-hosting in our area. And so we met and started some initial plans to kind of be that central area that Barry was mentioning. But then COVID hit, and I'm not sure from here where that is, and I'm going to need to get back with Sherry and see the possibility of us being able to do that in our local area and planning some different type events. We sort of laid out some options that we might be.
I was going to say, geographically, there were plans for Charlotte Harbor to be a host club in that area, that Sherry was going to put together a central type hosting program. And then Sandra Hampstead was putting together a program further down south, and they were going to be their own program. We talked about it, and I felt that if they're going to do a program, or you're going to host a program, that it's your program and you do your thing, and that it doesn't make sense to try and make your program work with ours and try and come up to ours for events and things, because you put a stress on the hosts. And a lot of hosts are Rotarians. Almost all the hosts are Rotarians, but a lot of hosts like hosting, but they're not committed to Rotary like, nuts like Barbara and I are, and Alfred and you. There's a lot of strategy that has to go into planning your week, and it can be a great opportunity. And I mean, the history of the programs back to 1974 when they first started hosting, and it started because the IA, International Assembly, was in Boca Raton, Florida. And there were over 200 district governor-elects that came to Florida, that stayed all over Florida prior to that Boca Raton program. And then the IA moved from Boca Raton to Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, and then I think into Dallas before it went to Anaheim, California, and then San Diego, in deference to the huge increase in Asian Rotarians. So they tried to move it more towards the West Coast. The contract was up in San Diego. They could not negotiate a favorable contract, and so they have moved it to Orlando and made a 4-year commitment. But yes, one would think that the program would have the demand to be able to, in our program, they used to host 80 DGEs, and remember that's a spouse, that's 160 people and 80 hosts. And they did that before there was email. And so some of it was by mail and then by fax machines, which I couldn't conceive of trying to do that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for providing all that information. And, you know, if it does continue on this year, I mean, please keep us posted if we may have some hosts or some people willing to pitch in and do a few things.
Thank you. That sounds lovely. Well,
all right. Well, it's getting to be that time to start to get on the way to wrap things up.
My 5th makeup this week.
your 5th. Barry's brother spoke to our club this morning or this afternoon.
Okay.
And it was very interesting. Yes. So.
Very good. All right, Trace, are you going back to the slide?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think she's got a little something to show.
It's
Possibilities are all around us. Together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action. Possibilities.
Oh, I don't, hold on.
It's okay.
All right, so people of action. While many people have heard of Rotary, few people actually understand what Rotary clubs do. In fact, 35% of the public is unfamiliar with any Rotary programs, including their local clubs. Rotarians share a unique passion for taking action to improve their communities and the world. Where others see problems, we see solutions. This is our chance to show others how Rotarians see what is possible in their communities. So what I was wanting to do, everybody knows that I'm going to be president-elect next year. I want to try to get with the CRA. The CRA has a few projects that they want to do to enhance the community. And one of them is I think it's called the Hearts of the Arts. And I wanted to try to see if maybe we could get some sort of a committee together. I know we're looking at 2021, but in 2022. However, to do any type of stuff with the CRA, which I know Jim's club has done a lot for the community, it usually takes some time to prepare. So I'm looking to put a community committee together. So if we can try to maybe help the CRA fulfill one of their things that they want to do for the community. Then,
as you know, when I started coming into this role, I took probably a good 6 months prior to start to prepare what I wanted to do. So Tracy, you're right on point with that. You need to start early.
Oh, Valerie, I don't know if you had anything prepared. I was wanting you to do a vocational moment. I don't know if she's still on there. Is she still here with us?
Nope, it looks like we lost her.
Nope, okay.
Deborah, can I say something?
Sure.
Tracy, I happen to be the chair of the Englewood CRA right now. Maybe we should talk.
Okay, so I was just looking at their strategic plan and I saw that, so I will get in touch with you.
Okay.
Perfect. See how Rotary just connects people.
Opportunities.
All right, so let me go back to the screen here. So we don't, right now we're not doing any of the happy dollars. We're going to try to see if there's something that we can do about the happy dollars. We really haven't been spending, some of us, the $40 for lunch plus the fines and everything. Deb and I are going to try to get together to see how maybe we can put together some stuff where we can actually start paying it forward and doing some happy dollars.
That's right. Yeah, the whole dynamic has changed, as we know. I would like to start back with our meetings that we are doing in person. I would like to start back with a 50-50 maybe next month. Give people some time again to adjust and prepare, and just start to get back to some of those things. And they might be a little different. You never know what I might come up with.
Yep.
Yes, Alfred.
I gave a presentation today for the foundation to the Rotary Club of Visteras, and they handled the happy dollars in a fashion that everybody had an envelope, and they gave everybody an opportunity to express what they were happy or sad about. And so they would all take their money and put it in their envelope, and then they would either mail it to the treasurer, either on a weekly basis or collect it for the month and then send it in. And there were, I don't know, 4 or 5 $20 happy dollars that were going, and et cetera. So just maybe an idea that you can use.
Okay. Barbara, I think you're on mute still.
Yep, I see that. I'm Sergeant at Arms at our club, and we've been doing happy dollars all along. And I just keep track every week of what everybody says that they're going to give us. And then at the end of the month, everybody sends in a check. So just to keep happy dollars coming in, because there's different programs that we were working on and stuff like that we wanted to help out.
Exactly. And we just instituted our PayPal account. We were looking to use our Heartland account to try to do some of that. In talking with Heartland, they said that it would require us to open up a whole new account and suggested that we just opt for PayPal. So we will have some options to put a donate button on the website and things like that. So it might make it easier for people to do those things. So be looking for that to come in the next few weeks.
So that's all I have, except for the 4-way test.
And I believe Walt was going to lead us out.
Give me 1 second to get it up.
Would everyone please join me in the recitation of the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do? First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Hey, I want to know when it says, is it far to all concerned?
Is it fun?
And we have a 5th one. Is it fun?
That's right. It just came up.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
Thank you for having me tonight. It was very nice seeing everybody. I hope I get to meet you all in person at some point.
That would be fabulous. We look forward to it.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Barbara.
everybody, for joining in tonight. And if anybody wants to hang on for a few
Thank
minutes,
you, Jan.
you're welcome to.
Tracy's a bonus.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yes, we have built a quite a good friendship.
Very lucky.
Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.